Alright, hello everybody and welcome back. I lowered the difficulty so that way we can do the story.
I can't stop worrying about the dream scourge. What if it happens to us?
Ignore that. It's just a rumor.
What if it's not? What would we do?
We'll close again. Simple as that. No one in town is clean.
Good cats at my feet. Okay, this is the part I was having trouble with.
You're mine now! Next one's mine! Another growing smash. Watch yourself.
What are you grinning about?
The wood echoes, strangled suffering. We knew this creature. The Adra hums beneath the moon. The bear, the rot in the heart. Did its beauty sing to you? Wilt, men grow again. What gleams cannot be a monster? We wish you had not killed it. Violets and the stars. We wish for both. Must all we love turn to ash? Can we not save it? Mercy like a knife. It hunts all of us. God, mortal, beauty. Sleep now. We ponder.
There's almost always something worth finding in ruins like these. If, that's what you're looking for. I'm not one for walking up to altars. Maybe leave this one alone.
We have been here before. Does the new earth settle beneath your feet? They flee the roar of thunder. It shakes the birds out of the trees. Even now, they smell fear. Now our memory is a wound, reopened. For generations, the Akita wandered the land, seeds in the wind. A storm had tossed them to our shores. They were branches without roots. Then you, Ishamal, were born with our face. Our flowers bloomed in your hair. Your people saw a sign of greatness. An obligation, a sacrifice for the whole. Your life was not your own. The elders trained you not as a child, but as a paragon. They expected everything. They forgave nothing. The responsibility was like a stone. Help us remember, Kishimo. How did you bear the weight? You faced your work with dignity. You had no other choice. While you feared failure, they rewarded you for your diligence. When you came of age, turmoil stirred. Lightning split the bark. Some tired of their exile. They wanted to return to their ancestral lands. You both wanted the best for your people. How could you reconcile? A bud opened. A comet streaked across the sky. You had a vision. You dreamed of a city where the sea swept into the wood, a place to flourish, to gather, more than a settlement, a home. What did you envision in your fitful sleep, Kishima? The Akita could not remain isolated if they were to thrive. They needed to open their arms to each other, and to outsiders as well. So the carpenters and masons set out, but we resisted them. What was a wall to a trailing vine? An arch to a mighty oak? The Akita's fate hung by spider silk. You knew you must adapt. Months became years, and the people stood in awe of what they built. It eclipsed the lands of their ancestors. Its spires challenged the clouds. How did you feel as you gazed upon your masterwork? You had earned your pride, yet a new trial awaited you. The people reasoned that the one who had built the city should lead it. A chorus of their voices joined in one. Another wait. Some claimed that this was the destiny your birth foretold. Tell us, Kishimon, how did you lead? To lead is to serve. You always knew this. We should like that to be our way. In time, others came to revere you for your selflessness. You were an example to be followed. They saw what they themselves could be. So your reign passed, a year into an age. The seas rose and fell until one day, nothing. Silence. We see ash, devastation, a lifetime reduced to dust. We can remember no more, no matter how far we reach back. It is fruitless. A void. A tremor in the Adra. Perhaps it should not be known. Yet one shape shines through the canopy of our memory. A face amid the rubble. You, Kishima. What became of you? They wept with joy as they extracted you. A long night lay before them, but the leader they loved remained. As the earth settled, we felt their hope in the darkness, and we learned. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Hey, Envoy. Back with us? Another godless ruin. Your countrymen turned that one into a shrine to Boudica.
Then rock! North and rock! North and rock! North and rock! You know we can turn back at any moment. Nothing of value would be lost.
Step closer, godlike. If it is a watcher you seek, then a watcher you have found.
This is giving me the shakes. Right, maybe I'll stand outside.
Why have you come to me, godlike? Help? No. I can open your eyes, but you must learn to see. Let's have a look at you then. You who came to these shores on a royal errand. You who have died and returned. To open the door to your soul, we must first open a door to your mind. Now repeat after me. I stand on the shore between here and beyond. Very good. Spoken with conviction. I dip my toe into bottomless depths. The lake is a mirror. The mirror is a door. And the door stands open.
A door? A garden gate?
Impossible. Someone is here with us? How? Who are you? What are you? Show me what you are.
A hand knocks on a bark. Do we answer? How can they see?
What is this I hear? Old and forgotten. Echoes of echoes. An uninvited passenger?
Now she's hearing voices. Great. Is that gonna cost us extra or something?
Curious. Something clings to your soul, felt but unseen.
Voices, echoes in the placid lake. Shelter the sea from winter. Who reaches for our bars? Who speaks?
Enough! I have seen into your soul, and hereby close that which was open. The door is shut, the reading finished. Well, that was truly unexpected. I am pleased to report I made contact with your soul, and then with something I cannot name. First, the good news. Not only is your soul healthy, it is strong, powerful, Strange for one who so recently died. Death leaves a scar, but you are unmarked. Instead of passing through the beyond, your soul was nurtured, protected, caged.
Soft. The shell cushions the egg.
You only live because someone would not permit you to die. But I wonder, who? Perhaps. But when they offer a second chance at life, it is never free of charge. It has been years since I met a godlike. Their souls have a sonorous quality, like the music of a bell. A godlike soul sings together with the god that has claimed them, made them their own. It gives them power. Your soul, it has no chime. In its place, a thorn jabs at your essence, working its way to the surface. I told you the good news. Now comes the bad, or the unusual. When you came into this life, a thorn pierced the fabric of your soul, and your soul grew around it, trapping and embracing the invader. A godlike's chime is a gift, a blessing. But a godlike's thorn? That may be a curse. I cannot say. The gods must answer for their actions. We know that a god touched you at birth, but which one and why? They always sign their work, and none of them lay claim to you. Disturbing. Terrible. There are so few godlike remaining, and you are a stranger even among your own kind. Better luck in your next life. I wish I could tell you that everything will work out in your favor. But the wheel turns by a merciless hand. One word of advice. When you find a pillar of Adra, commune with it. Adra has a strong link to the beyond. Adra holds the path between this life and the next. A conduit for souls all around Aora. Through Adra, a soul may find its way back to the wheel, to be born again. But the Adra here, in the living lands, is different, insular. It connects only to itself, twisting vines, essence warping into essence.
Ah.
A lost soul, perhaps, wandering and in search of some connection from afar. When you find Adra, commune with it. Take heed of its lesson. Adra may pave your road to the truth, or it may lead to a dead end. But the journey will teach you. That I promise. Before we close, have you any final questions? As you understand the word, yes. You fell into death, and a guiding hand lifted you back onto your feet.
That guiding hand, whatever it is, must be what brought you back to life at Liviana's.
Your soul is healthy, but it is also a mystery beyond my sight. Marius, I see terrible pain and the strength of will it takes to conceal it. I see jagged, self-inflicted scars.
Right. I could see that too if I don't get out of here soon.
Kai, your soul is heavy, burdened, yet something is missing. Something not easily replaced.
Hey, we don't need to make this all about me.
For us both, I assure you.
Glad someone got something out of this.
Safe travels, godlike, and thank you for the glimpse at your wonderful soul. I will pray that your next turning of the wheel is uneventful. Until then, you are bound to live a rich and complicated life.
Did you get any of that? That just sounded like a hot breeze to me.
This kind of thing makes my skin prickle. Let's get it.
I gotta track down my killer.
Paradis! Do not be afraid.
Who's there? Cat. You're bold to come here.
I think I sprained my shoulder. Keep quiet. Watch out. The pressure plates.
If you want help burning through that, just say the word. Stand back.
Here they come. Show me what you got.
You know what that web means. Be ready. Coming in hot.
More ballistic spiders. Fleet to me. Come and get me. Armor isn't helping. What about these spiders? Are they threatening enough for you?
The spiders are just trying to survive. Maybe these people are too.
Guns. Not this summer.
Sense a Maria slasher coming. But that key opens the big double doors we saw on the way.
Remember that time in Emerald Stair? You let that thief take all our supplies.
He was starving. I wasn't gonna kill a man.
We needed those supplies. We almost died without them. You let your heart get in the way of your survival.
When did you become a poet?
Just blessed day now. Like it? Why would you waste time building a deadly trap when a simple no entry sign would suffice?
Over there, the left.
Probably disables the blades, for all the good it does for him.
I was just getting warmed up.
Right behind you. Then roll! You're still mad about that thief, but we made it back to town, even without us.
Not the blessed eight point. You see a threat, you stop that threat. You don't give it.
You think everyone's out to get you. This is why you don't have more friends.
Eyes open.
Show yourself. You're not getting away. Look who it is!
So, would you have killed that thief for taking our stuff?
Shh, Nimdude. Someone's up ahead.
Found you. You're gonna regret this.
I would have sent that thief on his way, without our blessed supplies.
Then he would have died.
How do you know? We didn't.
No one's getting past me. No one.
Take your best
Look
shot.
who it is.
Get ready. My money says our assassin's on the other side of that door.
Boss fight?
So it is true. You're alive. You're truly alive.
Spoken like an assassin who's confident in his work.
Well, how could this be? I killed you. The whims of the gods are a mystery to us both. Stay your weapon, please. Hear me. Let me speak for Paradise. Then you can decide if we part as friend or as foe. That may be so. But I answer to a higher authority, as do you.
People always answer to a higher authority, but I never hear the question.
Envoy, I killed you because the people of Paradise have suffered under the boot of Adir. For better or worse, yes. Though that ended when he went into the wilderness with your ambassador. I didn't, though that is where your mind went, isn't it? In any case, it was not the Clavager's death that made me decide to kill you. It was because your face came to me in a dream. A vision I believed was sent from the gods. This was no ordinary dream. It was not imagination. It was communion. Your face was as clear in my mind as it appears to me now. You were standing under the sign of Adir. Your feet became roots and reached deep into the soil, wrapping round Ardra in the darkness. Dreams, visions. They can be confusing things. I took the vision as a call to kill you in the hopes that I might stop Ardea from conquering this land.
And look where it got you, but do you truly believe that? I've had enough.
Yes. My life may be over, but I accept responsibility for my downfall. I cannot imagine what the gods want for us, but you are at the center of it. The proof stands before me.
There's definitely something. It's written all over your face.
The only thing standing before us is a bunch of well-armed people. Let's take this slow. No sudden movements.
The gods aren't finished with you yet. You tell me, godlike. You have me cornered, but I will not hesitate to defend myself. Cowardice is not our way. My fate is in your hands. Do with it what you will.
Normally, I'd say if someone tries to kill you once, don't give them a chance to do it again. But I think he's actually come around to something. It's rare to see a real change of heart. Rarer still to have the opportunity to give someone a second chance. Don't squander it.
If you spare him, he'll just kill you again. I doubt you'll get a second chance. Not a huge fan of cold-blooded murder. We survive by removing threats, and this guy is a threat.
If you're guided by the hearts of your companions, then they too serve the gods. Your Inquisitor Lodwyn doesn't know the meaning of mercy. But if that is the fate you want for me, then it is the will of the gods that I stand trial for my crimes. I never thought I'd see the day when I surrendered to an Adiran.
If you give him to the Steel Garrote, you might as well kill him now. They'll torture him before they execute him.
I will settle the last of my affairs and confess to the guards. With any luck, I'll live to see another sunrise. I would expect nothing less. No. I will defer to the gods on this one. In their eyes, my fate is sealed. Farewell, godlike.
Hush. An ill wind. Steel justice. Shackles like our own. We learn. We twine.
That's sad. The Inquisitor's gonna have fun with him.
You should have just killed him. He's as good as dead anyway.
Don't bother going back the way you came. Between the pillars to the right of the stairs. That's your way out. I suppose the gods were on your side, not ours.
I don't think I expected they would just turn themselves in.
Good news is the Steel Garrote will probably take care of killing them for us.
Dealing with the assassin should put us on Ludwig's good side, so there's that.
Great. Not sure which side I want to be on. I have some thoughts, Envoy. Let's talk about it at camp.
The Adirans only see us as soil to their tide.
Tell me you brought good news. Oh, Envoy, you return. And you brought a friend. Ambassador Heelguard, at your service.
Always nice to meet an Adiran who isn't trying to goad me into a fight.
What of these rebels? The streets are full of rumors, but your word is the only one I trust. Thank the gods. Finally, we can show these people the consequences of their actions. Inquisitor Ludwig will see that the guilty are made an example of. It'll be a lesson that no one forgets.
Why do I feel like Ludwig's lessons involve a riding crop and an Iron Maiden?
Impressive work, Envoy. Not only have you cheated death, but you humbled your own killer. From this day forth, no one will challenge our presence in the living lands. Our people are here to stay. Indeed, not a moment too soon. I'm sending you to Fior Messi Verno, a community of Valian expatriates deep in Emerald Stair. The Animancers may have some knowledge of the Dream Scourge already. Learn whatever you can from them. Nor should you be. Animancers draw power from the spirit world. Their dark research can twist, break, even corrupt the very soul. The Empire has no tolerance for Animancers, and with good reason. Their work is dangerous, heretical. Animancers tinker on souls using clever inventions and ancient pillars of Ardra, siphoning essence like honey from a hive. They want to change reality as we know it, make us live longer, or cause barren lands to grow. For all I know, they might be onto something. Or, with a single miscalculation, they might destroy us all. Well, you know what they say about the enemy of my enemy? Animancers may be an unpredictable sort, but they are scholars and keenly aware of their environment. Make no mistake, the Empire's at war with the Dream Scourge, and we need allies on our side. Would that I were certain of anything these days. I won't ask you to put your soul on the line, but I am asking you to make connections, to seek help wherever we can find it. If you have any further questions before I dispatch you to Emerald Stair, now would be the time. My sources tell me the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, and souls are their trade. If we have anything in common with Animancers, it's a shared interest in curing the Dream Scourge. Answers. Nothing more. We need all the help we can get, even if it means appealing to Animancers. I believe that covers everything. Governor Vidaro will be your first point of contact. I'm told he's barely keeping the community in order. Seek him out if you need direction. Good hunting, Envoy.
Ilgard. Why is it that whenever I hear your name, it's because you've disgraced the Empire?
No, strangling light. Keep her away.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Inquisitor Ludwig. So kind of you to join us.
While you brood over the Dream Scourge, this island is coming apart at the seams.
Stay your wrath. Allow me to present the Adiran envoy, dispatched by the Emperor himself, to aid us in our time of need.
At least someone knows the meaning of respect. I can't believe you troubled the Emperor to send an envoy. Haven't you done enough to flaunt your incompetence?
Under the circumstances, I thought it might be...
Silence. You busy yourself with the Dream Scourge. A mere fever and chills, leaving the real work to me. Even if that were to happen, the living will replace the dead. We will ship them in by the hundreds to fill the empty houses.
Oh, gods, Ludwig.
I have scoured this island and faced the truths from which you cower. The Living Lands is on the brink of total collapse, and you have ignored the discontent in your own city. Our envoy brought the killer to justice and Paradise to order, which is more than you've done in years.
You don't waste time, do you?
We should be using this opportunity, not squandering it. What say you? Well, if that is the end of your commitment, then the Living Lands might already be doomed.
If you're done eviscerating me, you'll be interested to learn I'm sending the envoy to the Animancers of Emerald Stair.
You are ridiculous. Emerald Stair is under assault by the very wilderness it claims to have conquered. The Animancers cling to pride and tradition even as they dig their own graves. You're right about the second part. Clearly, I've wasted my time with you, Ambassador. From now on, I will break the frontier on my own terms. You are free to disagree with my methods, but you cannot stop me. As for you, Envoy, farewell.
Knew this would happen if he turned himself in. Nothing we could do about it, though.
She is going to be a problem. Sometimes I wonder. Put her out of your mind. The Dream Scourge is more than enough for us to chew on. At least for now. Oh, before I forget, Liviana gave you a clean bill of health. You're cleared to leave for Emerald Stair. Fair warning, Animancers and Adirans don't mix well. Their kind can be a tad, unhinged. A fair point. No one survives this place without losing a little sanity along the way.
They're a fun bunch. Crazy, but fun.
Wonderful. Now I have to keep a tight grip on my soul on top of everything else.
Should you cross paths with Ludwig? Well, try not to. I have no idea what's gotten into her. Safe travels. I'm told Emerald Stair is beautiful this time of year.
We can head to the Eastern Gatehouse when you're ready to go to Fjord.
above the judgment of the queen that was, nor the arbiters of her justice.
Envoy. Ironic. No. Paradis clearly understands your intent.
Careful, he could be a messenger. Or this could get interesting.
We have learned you are not a figure to be trifled with. My compatriots have observed your judgment. We have a message for you. We do not give second warnings. Consider this one carefully.
Something doesn't feel right here. Never has.
Hold a moment. They tell me you're going to Emerald Stair. Business or pleasure? Well, just remember to cover your mouth, sneeze into your elbow, and sleep with lavender under your pillow. Fair warning, Envoy. Before you showed up, Inquisitor Ludwine barged past me. She was looking none too pleased. Might have had something to do with that poor fellow who got strung up. No one told you? The rebels hanged one of your kin. Fellow by the name of Garrick. Suppose they wanted to send a message. On the bright side, there's still time to pay your respects. No one's cut him down yet. Anyway, I thought you should know Ludwine's on the prowl. Tread lightly.
So Ludwine's somewhere out there doing who knows what. Wonderful.
Hopefully, your handling of Egwolf brought us some grace with her.
Oh, one other thing. Did you hear about that expedition team that went missing in the caves north of the city? It's frightful stuff. Can't imagine crawling through caves for a living myself. The ground's been rumbling something fearsome over there, and those roots have been growing like mad. I hope it's not another strangleroot situation is all I'm saying, because those people are goners. Anyway, I hope you can lend him a hand. Seems like a bad way to go. You're cleared to pass, Envoy.
Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradis. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in.
And Egwolf's death won't help matters.
You had to know that might happen. I mean, you've met Ludwine, right?
Regardless, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the freakus.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
And it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Most fun things are.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches. All surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island.
They're an eccentric bunch. You'll see. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay, until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the living lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. I'd hope so. I think that goes without saying.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What about you, Marius? What's next?
I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
Yeah. Who else is going to show us which mushrooms we can eat, and which ones want to eat us?
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have 2 rules. No campfire songs, and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these problems, please?
Looks like she could use our help. Let's get her in.
Good one!
Don't get too comfortable. Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Sansa! Absolutely not. Cute as a button, but he's so high-strung. I pursue my own academic interests. Interests that require the vase in the ruins. And a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Oh, of course. Why would a priceless artifact be important? Well, I'm not surprised you don't know of the Godless. But they were here in the Living Lands long before we were. Long before anyone else, as far as I can tell. Give or take a few thousand years. They lived on every corner of the lands. You must have passed a few of their ruins on the way here. The big ones, with spires that look more than a little phallic. A lot of their structures were embedded in the ground. They lived in harmony with the land. I mean, as much as you can live in harmony with the land actively trying to kill you. Maybe it was nicer back then. 30 years of research, and as far as I can tell, they just upped and disappeared one day. Fascinating, right? Well, what's important is that the vase is within my grasp, now that I've a tall, dark, and handsome stranger to help.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Watch out, Envoy. She seems to have a thing for you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord. And I need this vase now. Oh, you will? My. You're a looker and a doer. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. Once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. But no one listens to me.
good fighting.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdut.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Oh, holding my vase hostage. I respect that. First and foremost, Fiorme Siverno is an animancer sanctuary. Vidaro, unlike his father, the former governor, is not an animancer. I don't know why anyone would give two pyres about Vidaro. He loathes the idea of others thinking Fior is less than perfect. Emerald Stair used to be the breadbasket of the living lands. Now it won't bear fruit, and there are rumors of plague. Pleasant, isn't it? But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind. As if people weren't hungry enough. Oh, no, you don't!
You told us that animancy would save our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine. The apes won't even touch them.
What I said. You only have...
showed up at a bad time.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfir of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Good. Perhaps he will listen to you. I am not fashioned for statecraft. Still, I think the governor is too stubborn to be persuaded even by the Emperor's finest. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does... Subtle means something different outside of Solace.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
There may still be time to reverse the damage.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. Be careful with your assumptions. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart.
tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Jatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to this settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now live back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
As I had planned. I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. In a way, I do. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise. They should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... Of course. Excuse me, it's been a long day. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
Huh. And when did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
You, my friend, need some
Founded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. We can't make something out of nothing. We're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Atra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, more than impressed.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
Um.
just in hora de hora.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague bear down by myself.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fiora.
They say he's still there, lying in the scaffold.
7 in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
Why is it somehow worse when the Revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald's den. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Beatrice, you know, the one with her viscera on display? As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Silvo is one of my Revenants. My oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put a poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a Revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has come. Thank you for understanding. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Then raw! Worth and raw. Worth and raw. We'll seek. Worth and raw. We'll seek.
Nice work.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. Precisely my point. There is something unique at the heart of this. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The great mystery is, our godlike...
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Of course. The idea is a bit high-minded. Adra acts like a pathway for souls as they rejoin the wheel.
And the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, is it not?
So, just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
I got a fast travel unlocked.
Then roll.